No one's you. No one's you. No one hears what you hear. No one sees what you see. No one's living the way you're living. And they assume what they want to assume because their life's a certain way. Weak people are really good at getting in your head because they don't want to ever see you get above them. A weak person wants to always keep you,
pull you down.
Yes, beneath them. Right. We always paint up reality that's not even true. It's reality what we think is true because our lives aren't what we want it to be. If I can overcome this, if I can find some power in this, some way to get through this, that right there will be the fuel for the rest of my life. And so I found great strength in suffering. Great strength in it because why? Through all of that, it started to callous my mind over the victim's mentality. You have to recognize what you've gone through. And that right there gave me pride. I realized that very few people could turn upside down what I did. I was able to turn upside down every negative thing in my life. Everything, and use it for power. The reason why I say motivation is crap, because a lot of people will listen to this and they'll be motivated. They'll be fired up. They'll be so fired up it's not even funny. What I realized in life is to have that motivation. Motivation is just kindling. It starts to fire. But that kindling, once one raindrop hits that little kindling, it's burnt out. That's motivation. So right now, I'm giving you a spark. You're giving people a spark. There's a whole bunch of sparks out here. But it has to be something that's deep down inside. So motivation is like this. If you're married and your wife is okay and your bills are paid and the kids are good and the dog's good, if everything is good, you can find some motivation. Because why? Your life is happy. It's that mother that wakes up in the sewer every day, has nothing to fucking go home to, has nothing. Bills aren't paid, doesn't know when the fucking next meal's coming, doesn't know shit, and still says fuck it. I am going to do what I have to do to get to where the fuck I have to go. That's the difference between motivation and drive, and then soon, obsession. So when you're around somebody that's obsessed, most people don't have any fucking idea what to call you. So they call you crazy. They call you crazy because they don't understand where you're trying to go.
Right.
What the fuck you're trying to do, what you're trying to be. What makes people different is a flip in their fucking mindset. Once they turn that mindset to a point where they no longer want to be so-called normal, that's when you start to find out that motivation is not enough. So there's no need to waste the time to look.
Right.
I'm just gonna go. And that's how you want to get your mind. It doesn't matter what the fuck's out there, what's in front of me. Because a motivated person is gonna look. Because that weather is gonna fucking change their motivation. Up or down. Oh, it's 70 and sunny. I'm motivated. Oh, it's 30 in a blizzard. Fuck that. I'm gonna go inside. An obsessed person doesn't care. They get the fucking job done.
Because they're obsessed with what?
With being great.
Obsessed with being great.
And whatever great is. We all live on this side of suffering. On this side. This nice box that's very comfortable, that we know when everything is going to happen. We're in it, it's good. We know how everything's going to turn out. It's those few people who are willing to go on this side of suffering. And once they get through that, ask him how he feels now. His mind, how far he grew in that short period of time. During that typhoon, during that storm, he finished that race. He grew so much more than the normal person because he was willing to go outside himself. Because on the other end of suffering is greatness. It's not over here. So a whole bunch of us, we put ourselves in this great box. And in that box, there's no suffering in it. So what we do is we shelter ourselves from greatness. So for me, for instance, I was 300 damn pounds at one time in my life. Spray for cockroaches, made $1,000 a month. I was living in that box. I would sometimes look over the box and I saw hell, suffering, storms, avalanches, tornadoes. I don't want to go over there. So you peek over the box and you go back in and say, oh, I'm okay being 300 pounds, making $1,000 a month. I'm okay over here. And on the other side is when you start to really start your journey. People think they start their journey because they're born. No, there's a lot of people in graves who have lived 100 years and have never started their real journey. Your real journey starts when you go outside that box and you start climbing mountains. And you think you get to the top of the mountain, you go down the other side of it, you think, I'm here, and you look up, fuck, there's another fucking mountain. And it goes on, and it goes on, and it goes on. And just when you're getting ready to quit, you crest that final mountain, you get down and you look, and there you are. And it starts to make sense to you then. It doesn't make sense to you until you get outside that fucking box. The mind's a very powerful thing. It has a tactical advantage over you all the time. It knows your fears, it knows your insecurities, it knows where you don't want to go. So it will guide you away from that. And that's why the mind will always win until you reprogram it. It'll always win until you fucking reprogram it. Because the mind controls you. Why is that? It's your fucking mind. It's your mind. Because all those things that happen to you in your life, all those bad things, all those things that you blame other people for, they're now yours to own. You gotta figure out a way to reprogram your mind to get outside the box. Because the mind is a very powerful thing. It doesn't want to go there. It doesn't want to suffer. It doesn't want to suffer. So once you suffer once or twice or 3 times, you're good. Do you think that sticks with you forever? It doesn't. If you stop reading right now, you stop running, you stop going to the gym, you stop mathematics, stop anything, you forgot the equation. You forget the equation. You could be the best person in your damn math class, but you go back 4 or 5 years later, God, I got an A in this. What? I don't remember this. It goes for everything you do in life, especially suffering. If you do not suffer on a constant basis, now, and I'm not saying go out there and run on broken legs. Suffering is different for everybody. And suffering is just being very uncomfortable. A lot. It was just doing. Whatever my mind said I don't want to do, I realized I must do that. Because what got me where I was at, 300 pounds, spraying for cockroaches, a loser, not going to school, I was doing exactly what made me feel good. And it got me exactly where I was at, nowhere. When I started taking this other path over here, the path that I didn't want to go on, the path of most resistance, I started realizing, my God, this sucks like hell over here. It's so painful and it's scary. It's dark, it's lonely. There's very few people over here. That's when I started realizing, my God, but look at the growth I have. Look what's happening to me. I'm losing weight. I'm smarter. I have confidence. I have courage. The self-discipline I have. The ability to face myself in the morning. The ability to win the war in the morning. I'm winning the war every morning. Every morning I get up, people think I have some special ability to get up and work out every day. Nope. I now realize what my mind is going to do. I now control my mind. But now I know it's like breathing air. I must do this. Because I know on the other side of this, I know there's greatness over there. And a lot of us talk about self-talk. Self-talk is big nowadays. It's big. But a lot of us are self-talking lies without having put in the fucking work. When you get to the time where you need to draw on this self-talk, it's a fucking lie. Mine's truth. So where I go to, I take that time, like I talked about being calm and calming my mind down in hell. Because when you're at mile 75 in the worst shape of your fucking life, your mind spazzes. It realizes I'm going 135 miles, and at 75, I can barely fucking move. I'm fucked. So your mind says, we're done. The end is too fucking far away. So you start drawing on all these different tools. The tools don't fucking work for you if you haven't put the time in. So what I'm doing now is I'm calming my mind down before I start self-talking. And I start to reflect back on all the years I put into making myself who I am today. All the hours, all the months I put in for training for that race. All the 3 o'clock in the morning times I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and my feet were so fucked up and I was so just sore from the night before that I'm sitting there just looking at my running shoes like this. And then an hour later, I put them on. That's what I'm thinking about. all those days to get me to this fucking moment right now at mile 75, where I'm all fucked up, what the fuck are you thinking now? It's to doing it when you don't want to do it. That is what inches you forward.
Right.
That is the needle mover. It's doing it when you fucking don't want to do it. And this isn't something you can fucking visit, man. There's people that want to visit my world and visit this world of like the everyday suffer. They visit it. They get a 20 visits at a fucking gym. Oh, I had a fucking 20 visits at the gym. I'm good. I did a Spartan race. I did this. No. It's every fucking day. You can't visit this world. You get nothing from it. You get a little trophy on the fucking wall. Good for you, man. It is having a very violence of action mentality. And it's having a focused mentality. So imagine this. Imagine that I'm about to, and this is for anybody. This isn't just for a soldier with a gun. War doesn't mean you have a gun. You're always at war up here. The further you're away from something, the calmer you are. The closer you get to that, whatever that thing is that you're about to attack, the more you start to ramp up. Everything in your life has to start honing in, single-focused, hyper-focused on the task at hand. You can't be this person out here who is, like nowadays, we're really big on being a multitasker. Sometimes in life, you have to learn to focus on the single point. So you have to, once again, retrain your brain to take care of whatever needs to be taken care of. And everything you cannot control, fuck it. What can you truly control? Control that and move forward. A warrior crosses a finish line and continues to run in his mind. There is no finish line. There is no finish line. There is no true accomplishment yet. I'm not saying don't enjoy it. What are you gonna do fucking tomorrow?
Right.
This day is over. A warrior realizes this accomplishment is over. When your life gets fucking hard and life is coming at you, you will panic and you will forget who the fuck you are. Trust me. When times get real fucking bad for me in life and I start going down that fucking rabbit hole of shit, man, my life sucks. I'm not strong anymore. The strongest person become weak. I go back to the mental cookie jar and I say, hang on a second, man. Before you become a total bitch, let's take a second and think about this, man. Is this that difficult that's in front of you? I go back in the mental cookie jar, pull out a cookie, open up this fortune cookie that says, you went through 3 hell weeks. You endured Brazil. Your stepfather got murdered. You learned all of high school in 6 months because you cheated all through school just to get in the military. You start to remind yourself of who the fuck you are. Because in the worst of times, when life is its worst, you don't remember how badass you are. All you know is right now life is kicking my fucking ass. And no one's coming to save you. There's not like you call your shrink on the fucking phone, hey, who am I? No, sorry. You have yourself. And that's the thing I realized. I developed all these different tools because in the worst of fucking times, you are alone. You must get your fucking self out of the fucking sewer. No one's coming in that fucking sewer to get you. It's dark, it's nasty, there's rats down there. It's your brain. You are the only person that can pull yourself out. Life is a jar of fuck. And that's why I believe that you must win the war every morning. Win the war every morning is this. There's a lot of things in life that we can control, but we choose not to. An example. Let's say tomorrow, you now set in your mind you get up at fucking 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay? That alarm clock goes off at 6 o'clock in the morning. But you went to bed at 1 o'clock. Your first instinct is, whatever I said yesterday, I was comfortable. It was a nice day yesterday. Now it's 6 o'clock in the fucking morning, I'm tired. That's that motivation shit at 8 o'clock. That motivation's gone. You hit that snooze button, you've now lost the war. The one thing you can control, you've lost. So then, you snooze. Let's say you get up at 6:45 now, you snooze a few times. So now you feel a little guilty now, you fucking missed your workout, you go in the shower, You're running late for work now. Now once you open that door of your apartment or your house, you're now in the real fucking world. And guess what the real world's gonna do? It's gonna fuck you up. You'll get to work, the boss may not like you that day. He may be fucking mad. You must win the war in the morning. So then when you go into life that you cannot control, you've already mentally won so many battles early in the fucking morning. So you're going into fucking war having already won something. So you're not going to war defeated. But most of us, we walk into war with no fucking weapon. And the weapon is this. The weapon is this. We haven't sharpened it. If you go into a fire and you don't sharpen that fucking blade, you start digging in fucking rock, it's gonna be a hard ass dig. But we fuck up in the morning. We don't win what we can win. We leave our house a mess. We leave our life a mess. And that's how our life becomes. So a lot of people read my face and they say, you know, you're stoic, you're not happy, you're not this, you're not that, you talk so much darkness. What people don't understand is that enlightenment, peace, you first must go through hell. There's a lot of books out there about this 5 steps. Do this, do this, do this, get there. No, man, it's not that easy. To find real, permanent peace and enlightenment, you must go to the dark side of who you are. You skipped hell, you forego this part of your life, you skip it and go right to peace. So you always have this thing back here that's haunting you, and that's that darkness. You must go into the darkness to truly find that light that you're looking for. Because that's what's on the other side of that. People get it all wrong, man. You have to face suffering. You have to face this dark side, this darkness. And there's a lot of energy in there. There's a lot of goodness in there that you can use to find greatness. But you cannot find your peace you're looking for in yourself until you've overcome yourself. We all, like this whole Instagram world, we love showing people this world that we have, this fake world that we show everybody the good side of us. I don't do that shit. I want to show you how fucked up I am so you can fucking learn. I'm not gonna learn from your great big house and your trips you go on and your beautiful shoes. We all love to see what people have, their nice shit. Show me your ugly shit. That's what I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna learn from the dark, nasty shit that we all have, that we all want to just scoot under a fucking rug and say doesn't exist. We all have it. This is just my story. We all have it. So the only way to fucking overcome it is to face it, deal with it, overcome it. I was born David Goggins. David Goggins was a young man, young kid, that didn't really know true reality. Was a kid that wasn't able to handle a lot of things. Me knowing that my foundation was broken, I had to rebuild a whole foundation. I had to pick up this fucking crooked ass house, that was me, pick it up in one hand, get all this fucking concrete, I had to fucking lay this fucking land nice and flat, get all this shit out, and rebuild this foundation and lay this fucking house back on a nice foundation. That foundation now is Goggins. I had to recreate myself to a man that I wanted to be. Not what the world made me. Not what life made me. Life made me a scared, timid, insecure, afraid kid. And when you're a man and you look at that mirror every fucking day of your life and you do not like the reflection in it, if you choose to live in that, that is your fault. We have the ability to recreate ourselves. And I decided to recreate myself in the form of Goggins. And that is a person that I said, I'm not going to be this guy that's insecure, afraid, all that sort of stuff. I want to be this guy. I want to be my own hero. I want to be a guy that I look up to. I want to see me and be proud of me. I want to look in that reflection and be proud of me. But the only way I'm going to do that is all that big shackle of shit, that big satchel of shit that my life had to start emptying it. And David Goggins couldn't do that. In building Goggins, I had to have someone pull me from that person that quits when times get hard. I had to form another person alongside that voice, because that voice wasn't strong enough for me. I had to formulate someone that had the reality, the real reality of at the other end of this, there's a big reward. But you cannot see that unless you push past all of that. And David Goggins didn't have that. So I realized that I want to see what's on the other side of this fucking mountain. How can I do that? So sitting back, I couldn't just read a book. All these theories weren't going to make me do that. Like I said, once again, it's easy to read a book and get confidence. But once you're in hell, that confidence is gone because now it's you and you. So I had to build me up. I had to be my own person that had all the answers to all these questions. Because I didn't have them. David Goggins didn't have them. All I had was, oh my God, this is getting bad. When I was growing up, they called me nigger. I'm not good enough. Oh, this isn't. When I was raised, my dad beat the hell out of me. He said I wasn't going to be anybody. That's where I used to go. When times got hard, it's called surface training. The root cause of the quitter is when you get in hell, you can't process it. It's too much to process. Because your mind starts going back to the real reality of like, I'm not ready, I'm not good enough. It's not trained. So I started training this, realizing that the only thing that makes me quit is not the muscle fatigue, it's the mental fatigue that makes me quit everything in life. I challenge people to go out there and find it. The feeling you have is endless. I think that when you die, this is my own mindset, that you arrive in line. It helps me to get past a lot of things. You arrive in line. Let's say you're in front. Let's say you died right before me. And you're in line. And God's sitting there with the clipboard. Okay? Sitting with the clipboard. Like me and you're sitting right there. He's looking at you. And he says, hey, you made the heaven good job. Okay? And then he shows you the clipboard of what your life should have been. So you lived this life and you thought you pushed so hard. And you look at the clipboard. Let's say myself. This is now me. Come on, myself. Let's say I got to heaven weighing 300 pounds. I got to work for Ecolabs. I got to kill cockroaches. This is fine. It's a job. But then I look at this, and that's how I died. I look at this, and it says on here what I should have been. The God's all knowing, right? I look at this, and it said you should have been 185 pounds. You should have broke this world's record. You should have been in 86. You should have been this. You should have been that. You should have been the straight line. You should have been an inspiration. You should have inspired millions. Back to God. I said you lived 80 years on earth. Now you realize that you lived here being a shell of who the fuck you should have been. So now you're in heaven. But are you really in heaven? Because now you see how much you fucking left down there on earth. So now your fucking mind now knows. Because I was afraid to suffer. Because I was afraid to go there. I could easily right now, you could never know who the fuck David Goggins is right now. You can never know me. I could be back in Brazil, Indiana, Indianapolis, Indiana, spraying for cockroaches at the fucking local restaurant. You should never fucking know me if I chose the route most of us choose. There'd be no fucking story. It'd be a normal story. What's your son doing, Jackie? Oh, he's 43. He's been working for Ecolab for 20 years. How's he doing? Good. He's doing good. He has a wife and kid. Never fucking knowing. I could be right the fuck here right now with the fucking book coming out about what I accomplished. But I had a decision to make at 24 years old.